Good morrow, scholars. Welcome back to Survive the Night. Sorry for another late upload. I mentioned in the last video a few times that when I woke up this morning, I woke up late. And then for about an hour, I just could not get myself to get out of bed. And then I had to get something to eat. And then I needed to get water and more water and more water. Anywho, did I say welcome back to Survive the Night? I think I did, but I don't remember now. I'm a little loopy from lack of sleep, and also I've been reading this one Harry Potter fanfiction. I've really gotten back into Harry Potter because of the new book, and also my mom and I, when we were watching the Harry Potter movies on Sunday, it was really nice. We were supposed to go to this Pokemon Go event nearby. I say nearby, but it's like an hour away. But she didn't feel like it. But, you know, it ended up being a good day anyway. Anywho, sorry for the rambling. We are on chapter 6, page 70, and that bothers me a great deal. I lower myself down the ladder. The rungs chill my fingers even though the day's heat still lingers in the air. I know that feeling. Gross, I say. It smells like fish. It's an adventure. Julie climbs down onto the ladder above me. Her Doc Martens, I don't know what that means, combat boots clank on the rungs, making the entire ladder tremble. She got the boots from her mom, who was way into grunge in the 90s. I don't know what that means. I didn't really experience the 90s. Where was I? And had written Pearl Jam rules across the leather in silver Sharpie. Adventures aren't supposed to be clean. Poor Bilbo. That's the weirdest thing you've ever said, Aya mutters. She crawls into the opening next, carefully placing one blackened foot onto the ladder's rungs. You didn't care about being smelly when you were playing Queen of Garbage earlier, I say. Julie pokes Aya's foot and snickers. Aya tries to kick her. Hey, stop shaking the ladder, she says. A nervous laugh bubbles up in my throat. We're kind of high up, and this thing doesn't exactly feel steady. I glance down, but I can't see past Shanna's blonde head. My leather flat slips from my heel, and I curl my toes to keep it from falling. Don't tell me you're scared, Shanna's voice echoes up from below me. I tighten my grip on the ladder, rungs, feeling dizzy. I never get scared, I shoot back. Something icy and cold slithers down the back of my shirt. I shriek and nearly losing my grip on the ladder. My shoe slips off my foot and spirals into the darkness. That would definitely be something I would do. Okay, about 10 pages. I was just checking real quick. Where was it? Shanna cackles. Yeah, your term of endearment for bravery. I don't know. I rock back and forth to make the ladder jiggle. Shanna screams with laughter and hugs herself to the rungs. Beep! She shouts. I take it back. Don't do that again. I laugh as we climb deeper underground and the subway tunnel slowly comes into focus. A giant laughing clown face stretches across one wall, orange spray paint dripping down the rifle. What am I thinking of? Who am I talking to? Where was I? I made myself nervous. The tile. Candles flicker on the ground. Distant music echoes through the tunnel and pulses up from the floor, making the wicks tremble. Excitement floods through me. I can already hear voices and laughter coming from deeper in the tunnel. It sounds like the party's in full swing. I lower my foot and my toes hit wet concrete. Chills shoot up my leg. Ew. I giggle, balancing on one foot. We've reached a narrow platform overlooking a single row of grimy train tracks. A water-stained poster reads, "Service changes." I flatten the edge of the paper, but it's too faded to read. It's super cold, Woody explains, stepping up behind me. These tunnels have been closed since Hurricane Sandy. Creepy, I say, and another thrill of excitement shoots through me. I turn, still balanced on one foot. Has anyone seen my shoe? This it? Sam holds up my shoe, turning it so the candlelight catches the studs on the toe. Even in the dark, I see the little dimple in his cheek. Yeah, I say. I clear my throat, annoyed at how breathless and girly I sound. Catch! He tosses me the shoe, and I awkwardly lunge to catch it. Thanks, I say, slipping my shoe back on. Sam gives me a thumbs up. I'm not entirely sure how to respond to a thumbs up from the only boy I've ever loved, so I just nod. I like giving people a thumbs up, even when it's not appropriate. Aw, it's like an incredibly awkward Cinderella, Shanna says. She pulls another cigarette out of the pack of Jarum Blacks, I don't know, that she steals from her corner market and strikes a match. The blue-orange flame flickers over her pale skin and pink-tipped hair. Silvery smoke snakes around her. Does that make you my evil stepsister? I say, once Sam's too far away to hear. Are you kidding? I'm your fairy godmother. Shanna winks and taps her cigarette, sending a shower of orange sparks to the ground. What does that mean? I ask. You'll see. She squeezes my shoulder, then hurries up to walk with Woody and Sam. I lag behind, turning the comment over in my head. Shanna is like a firecracker, bright and sparkly and fun, but if you set her off in the wrong direction, she'll light everything on fire. I was going to make a joke, but let's not go there. The platform stretches for another 100 feet before ending in a white and green tiled wall. A staircase cuts through the middle of the concrete, leading deeper underground. Where now? I ask, peering down the stairs. Particle board and 2x4s seal off the door below, and caution tape winds around the handrails. This place is a freaking maze. I wonder how deep it goes. Woody hops off the platform, motioning for us to follow him down into the onto the tracks. Sam climbs down next. I hesitate, looking at Julie, Aya, and Shanna. Let's do this. Sorry. I was watching a Leroy Jenkins video earlier. Let's do this, Shanna says, jumping into the tunnel. 3 rusty train rails cut down the center, surrounded by red Solo cups. Empty PBR. I know what that means. Cans and Snickers wrappers. Rows of thick white candles line the walls. The steady bump, 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 I don't know, of techno music echoes towards us. I can't help bouncing a little as I walk. I want to dance. No, I don't. Is it true what they say about the third rail? Aya asks, hopping down next to one. You mean, is it electrified? Woody asks, and picks up a plastic cup and tosses it into the air at the far rail. It rolls away, unharmed. They turned the power off, remember? Julie says, because of the hurricane. Whatever. Woody kicks another plastic cup at the rail. I wrap my arms around my chest, shivering. Party sounds seep up through the floor and ooze out of the walls, reverberating through the soles of my shoes. The ground trembles with music. We turn the corner, and the tunnel opens into an underground station with an arched ceiling and graffiti-covered walls. And graffiti-covered walls. There we go. People crowd on top of a concrete platform, waving yellow and pink glow sticks that leave trails of light as they dance. 2 lanes of subway tracks stretch past the platform on both sides before disappearing into the dark tunnels, just like the one we've come out of. Strobe lights flash from the ceiling, and hundreds of candles line the walls, dripping pools of white wax. Whoa. Julie runs a hand through her hair, sweeping the black curls off her face. It's like Christmas, but for ravers. Do you guys remember this one manga slash anime called Rave Master? Rave Miss, Aya adds, giggling. She tugs off her cardigan, revealing the plunging neckline of her 50s styles dress. She folds the sweater into a tiny square and forces it into her pink faux fur clutch. She wobbles toward the party, once again balancing on her painful-looking heels. Huh. I don't remember any of the last page being read, even though I know I read it. That's weird. Anyway. How long before she finds the newest love of her life? Julie asks, twisting the onyx ring on her finger. Maybe she'll find someone great tonight, I say. Aya's always looking for her next epic romance. Julie gives her grief, but I can't help rooting for her. I steal a glance at Sam heading down the tunnel. You think there's a VIP room in this place? Shanna asks, taking a puff from her cigarette. Like where the celebs hang out? I ask. Shanna shrugs and leans her head back, trying to blow smoke circles. I have a friend who can do tricks. This is New York, she says, winking at me. I lean forward, peering down the tunnel that leads to the entrance. Maybe it's back this way. I start down the tunnel, but a bouncer cuts me off before I can go any farther. He has the kind of face that looks like it doesn't know how to smile. No one leaves Survive the Night until the party's over, the bouncer says. He hooks his thumbs into his jeans pocket and stands up straighter. He must be more than 6 feet tall. I'm told that I should be a bouncer. Or a security guard of some kind. I don't think I have it in me. What do you guys think? Anyway. I glance at Shanna. We're just looking for a bathroom, she finishes for me. Party's not over till 5, the bouncer says. Come on, Shanna says, pulling me back into the party. That was weird, I say. We're trapped down here until 5 in the morning. Don't you think that's cool? Shanna stomps out her cigarette. I was going to say strange. I check over my shoulder again. The bouncer leans against the wall next to the tunnel, waiting for anyone else who might try to slip back to the entrance. Shanna, we have to drive back before Madison's sleepover gets out, or my parents will know I bailed. It takes 2 hours to get back, Shanna says. You'll be fine. But if there's traffic. At 5 in the morning? Shanna picks at the nail polish on her thumb. I'm going to find us something to drink, she says, letting a black flake flutter to the ground. Think you can try to relax until I get back? Yeah, of course, I say, a little embarrassed that I'm getting so worked up. I would be horrified. Also, I wouldn't be in this situation. I'm just saying, if I were in the situation, I would be horrified and terrified. I'm anxious and prone to neurotic displays of drama. I say that, but I'm incredibly reserved at the same time. Like, it's a whole weird thing of, like, internal turmoil, but I have no, like, visual way of expressing it, and then I just snap. Anyway. Shanna veers off to the drink line, while I scramble onto the platform to look for Julie and Aya. Narrow ledges jut out from the wall above me. A girl with pigtails sits on one of them, spray painting a face on the concrete. I ease past a group of people playing Spin the Bottle and try to make my way toward the dancers on the far end. The platform's so crowded I can barely move. I'm about to give up and follow Shanna to the drink line when I stumble over a pair of Converse sneakers and balled-up socks. Uh-oh. Left foot green, someone shouts. I push past a line of people and see another smaller group. It looks like they're wrestling. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Paint coats their hands and feet and drips from their clothes. Messy puddles of red, yellow, blue, and green cover the concrete and ooze together, making the floor look like a Jackson Pollock painting. Right hand, blue. Everyone scrambles around to find the blue paint puddles. Giggles erupt as their hands slip out from under them. A few people lose their balance and fall. I grin as I watch them play, thinking back to the party where I met Sam. I kept waiting for him to come inside so I could make an excuse to talk to him, but he spent most of the night in the yard with his lawnmower. Then about halfway through the party, I saw him slip through the front door and sneak upstairs. I found him alone in an office on the second floor. I was looking for an extra bathroom, he told me, but when I promised I wouldn't rat him out, he admitted he was actually snooping. Although it's actually... Anyway. Check this out, he said. He stepped aside, revealing a floor-to-ceiling bookcase completely stocked with old board games. They had everything. Jenga, Trivial Pursuit. That would be fun. Life, Monopoly. Sorry. I love that one. You name it. My mouth dropped open when I saw it. I didn't realize people owned board games anymore. I hadn't seen so many in one place in my entire life. I threw a hand over my eyes. Whatever game I point to is the one we're going to play, I'd said. There we go. He laughed while I made a big show of waving my hand over the row of games before dropping it on an old Twister box. I don't think you can manage Twister, Sam said, nodding at the bulky knee brace I had to wear after my accident. Rain check, I told him. He found a piece of paper and scribbled IOU 1 game of Twister on it, along with his phone number. That's kind of nice. What was I going to say? I can't help remembering that moment now, as I watch this much messier game of Twister. I swivel around, trying to find Sam in the crowd. I know things have been weird between us, but an IOU is an IOU, and he owes me a game. Right foot blue, the announcer shouts. I grin as the players weave and duck around one another, and people lose their balance and tumble to the floor. I finally spot Sam a few feet away. He slides his bare foot onto the blue puddle, a streak of red paint smudged across his face. The smile freezes on my lips. He's already playing. Without me. That's sad. The announcer shouts something else, but his voice sounds like static. A girl leans over and whispers something in Sam's ear. She's beautiful and blonde and wearing a shirt that's so short and tight it's practically non-existent. Sam laughs and touches her bare shoulder. The hurt burns inside me, turning to fury. Oh no. I push through the crowd to get to the game, shedding my shoes as I go. Sam freezes when he sees me, his hand hovering above a goopy pile of paint. Oh hey, I say, flashing him my sexiest smile. No. I didn't see you playing. The girl glares at me, and I maturely stick out my tongue when Sam turns his head. Right hand green, the announcer calls. Sam slides his hand onto the same green glob I'm aiming for, and his thumb brushes against mine. I glance up at him, a blush colors his cheeks, and he jerks his hand away. Sorry, he mutters. I grin, and flick a little red paint at him. It splatters across his hair. Sorry, I say, biting my lip to keep from laughing. Sam raises an eyebrow. You're going down, he says, wiping paint from his face. Left food? It says food. I swear it does. But foot red, the announcer shouts. I plop my foot down and red paint oozes between my toes. It feels cold and slimy. I try not to make a face, but I can't help scrunching my nose up in disgust. Ew, I say. Sam lowers his foot to a red puddle behind me. Left hand yellow. The blonde girl hit checks me, nearly sending me down. My knee twists and pain flutters through my leg. Sam grabs my shoulder to hold me up. I regain my balance, and he pulls his hand back. Uh-oh. Right foot red. This time, Sam starts to stumble. He grabs my shoulder for support, and suddenly we're practically nose to nose. Hey, he says, you have a little... He brushes something off my cheek. I hold my breath. A smile flickers onto his lips. So, I was trying to wipe away a dot of yellow paint, he explains, and I accidentally smeared green paint all over your face. Sounds about right. Loser. I push my hand into his face, leaving a bright blue handprint across his cheek. He laughs and dunks his hand back down in the red paint. I dodge backward, but I lose my balance. I grab Sam's sweatshirt, pulling him into the paint with me. I hit the ground with a thud, and Sam lands on top of me. You and you, the announcer calls, pointing to us. You're out. We're out, Sam says. He pushes himself onto his elbow, but doesn't move right away. Instead, he stares down at me. My breath catches. He's so close. He could kiss me. I want him to kiss me. I feel awkward. Finally, he clears his throat and pushes himself away. He reaches for my hand to help me up. Good game, if short, he says with a smile. Okay, at least that one was relatively short. And... relatively sweet, I suppose. Whoops. I threw that down harder than I meant to. What was I going to say? Okay, so it took about an hour for me to read both of these, not including the time in between, because I needed more water. I mean, I say that, but, you know, I need more water now. And I would drink this, but this is actually vinegar. Although I did almost drink from the thing of vinegar. Why does this taste so weird now? It tasted like lettuce earlier. Anyway. Sorry for late uploads. I explained it. You don't have to forgive me. I asked too much of that already. I'm kind of tired now. Anyway, let me know what you guys think is going to happen next when we get to the terror and horror part of this book. Again, I'm not reading ahead. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I haven't even looked it up online either. So, your guess is as good as mine, and until next time, goodbye everybody. I'm really hungry now. I wonder what I should eat. Oh, I'm thinking about getting new glasses.